This is Shane with Odyssey Marketing Group. Today, I want to talk about the benefits of using an SEO plugin or extension with your website. Search engine optimization is a very broad category that goes into digital marketing, but essentially what it's trying to accomplish is helping your website rank higher on Google when people are searching for services that your business provides. So there's kind of an aesthetic to it, but then there's also a lot of behind the scenes elements of SEO, which I refer to as technical SEO. And that is where a extension or plugin is going to help you. So that way you don't miss a beat. Now, websites are complicated. There's a lot of backend things that are going on. And using an extension is designed to help you not miss things. So, for example, whenever you make an edit to a page, or if you change a page and change the URL, you need to be changing the links. You need to make sure that you don't have broken links. You need to make sure that you don't have images that are too large that are impacting your page speed, because all of these factors contribute to the user experience. And when it comes to SEO, let's say search engines want to rank websites higher when they provide the best user experience possible. And when you have broken links and 404 error pages, you're not providing a good experience. So why I use an SEO extension, and to give some context, my website's built on SquareSpace, and I am using an extension that is called SEOSpace, which is the preferred Squarespace extension, but there's plenty of other ones. If you're on WordPress, there's Yoast SEO, SEMrush is good, RF is good as well, but it's the one that I'm using, which is the most recommended and highly recommended for my website, which I really love using, is SEOSpace. So what does SEOSpace do exactly? So what you'll notice here on my screen is this little green check mark box here. And what I can do with this, and this is only one feature of SEOSpace. I'm going to be making future videos on the different ways you can leverage SEOSpace to create better content on your website. But that's for a different video. For now, I'm using their crawling tool. So what this will do is this actually shows me all of the it runs a scan on my website, and it basically shows me what I need to work on. So right now, this is loading my past score, and they already have kind of some feedback on what I need to work on here. But let's kind of go through these categories as well. And before we do that, I'm actually just going to run a scan just to kind of show you what this thing does in motion, because it's pretty cool. Let's just do without a keyword. So it's just kind of running up and down my page and looking for anything that I might have missed when editing my page. And then it's assigning a score, just like in school, right? 100% is good. So right now, this page is a B+, which I'm okay with for now, but there's still some room to work, and we're going to discover that later. So here, we can actually see the category that my page is being graded on. So for example, if we look at the first one, is word count. So word count is very important because when Google's crawling your website, you need to have content to help Google understand what it is your page is all about, right? So if you create a homepage and you don't really have like a strong word count on it, then Google's not going to rank your page very high, because Google doesn't know what your page is trying to accomplish. It doesn't know what's on your page. So word count, of course, isn't like the end all be all. And that's one thing I do want to express, is like this little scan isn't necessarily picking up on like quality of content, but it's just making sure that you're covering all of your bases. So that will be kind of the quality of the content will be a future video going into kind of the further site audit that SEOSpace has to offer. This is just really making sure you're covering your foundation of SEO on each and every one of your web pages. So for example, like word count, right here, 894. And again, like you want to be auditing and make sure your word count is good. This isn't necessarily saying that, but it's just making sure that, hey, you have 894 words on your page. You should be explaining what it is that you're doing right away, right? So that's, at least in that regard, I should have enough content to at least describe what it is I do and provide, but I can always improve this. So again, this isn't really saying that you have the best information, but it's just saying that it's just really reading if you should have sufficient information to explain what this page is about. And so far, it's saying that I at least hit the word count requirement. Links. Okay, this is very important. So you don't want to have broken links on your site, right? So you want to have everything that should be clickable should direct to the desired destination. Now, that seems obvious, but a lot of times this can be missed. So, for example, I changed my service page. I changed the URL and I made it a little bit longer. So I changed it to marketing and website design services instead of just having it be odysseymarketinggroup.com/services. So the reason I did that was so that my URL communicates to Google a little bit more precisely on what type of information that page is about versus it just saying services, which is very broad. But when I did that, I had to set up a 302 redirect, which just ensures that my old page with the URL services directs to my new page, marketing and design services. But then when I did that, I had to go back through my website and every single page that links to services, like this one here and this one here, I had to change it so it links to the updated URL. So every single page that used to link to services now needs to be updated to the new link, marketing and design services. And as you can tell, there's a lot of links. So all of these ones here, these all go to my services page. And this is just the home page. Like my about section has links to that services page as well. Then also my footer and my header does the same thing. So when I click on services, it links to that page. So this crawl is checking to make sure that all of my links are on this page. Now you want to run this crawl per page. This is at least making sure that my homepage doesn't have any links that are broken, any links that are going to like a page that no longer exists that was redirected. It's also checking for external links. So if I'm linking to another person's website, like I'm linking to like a blog post article or something like that, it's making sure that when I click on it, it's opening up in a new tab instead of just replacing the current page. So that's very important. Now we're going to go into SEO description. So this is where your meta description comes into play. So what your meta description is accomplishing is it is telling you, it's essentially telling you what this page is about in search results. So like when I Google Odyssey Marketing Group, here is my page title. So my page title is Increase Leads and Land More Jobs, Odyssey Marketing Group. So that will show up first in Google search. And then below that will be my meta description. So my meta description is then around 150 to 160 characters. And it just describes very briefly but concisely what my page is all about. So when you basically make a page on your website, Squarespace and pretty much every other website platform is going to say that a meta description will automatically be generated for you, but oftentimes these are super slow to develop and they don't always make a description that best suits your page. So that's why you really want to create your own. And this gives you a best practices on how to do that. And another thing that I like to do too is I like to use their AI tool just to kind of help give me a prompt. I usually find that I need to edit my description, but this is a really good way to just get ideas because sometimes I see people writing poor descriptions by just trying to pack in a bunch of location-based keywords or just mentioning their primary service a bunch of times, and they're not writing high-quality descriptions. So this is really helping you to ensure that, one, you're within the recommended character guideline, and two, just gives you ideas to create a better description that is, readable and enjoyable for people. Because at the end of the day, we're doing all this technical work to make this a enjoyable page, an enjoyable website for people, not for robots and machine learning. So kind of go into the next category here. So this was that SEO title. So again, here's my SEO title up here, increase leads and land more jobs, Odyssey Marketing Group. So here, okay, we tell you exactly, we kind of sell the page a little bit more. So what am I? I'm a marketing company. What do you want when you hire a marketing company? Well, you want leads and you want more jobs, right? Boom. And then I have the name of my company. So it kind of tells you all of those things, right? And then it also makes sure that I am within the character limit. The next category here is security. So this just makes sure that I have an SSL certificate, which will just ensures that your site is safe and that people aren't going to be getting, getting malware and pop-ups and all that, damaging things on your site. Because again, when it comes to SEO, Google wants to rank websites higher that are safe for users. They don't want people to have their information compromised. Next, let's talk about your headings. So H1, heading 1, is your primary heading that Google, when they run their scans, they're going to use that heading to at first understand what it is this page is about, right? So for example, my heading is this description here. So marketing and website design services for contractors, right? You want your H1 headings to describe what your page is in a, again, short and concise manner. So, easy. I'm a marketing company and I do website design and I work for contractors. So I achieved that goal and I also didn't overdo it. Next is images. So, okay, here's where I can improve. I have some images that are too large. Now, the reason why this matters is because image size can sometimes affect your site speed. And actually, I shouldn't say sometimes, image size does affect your site speed. So what you use this for is you use this to see which images you need to resize. And when I first made this website, I think all of my images, I've got it narrowed down a little bit, were, were too big. So anyways, let's look at the next section here, and that was called your alt tags or alternative text is another kind of lingo that gets thrown around. But this is, so when let's say I'm accessing my website like on mobile and I'm in like kind of a shaky service area, sometimes your pictures won't load right away, but what loads in place of that is text that describes the image. So you want to have alt text because Google will actually, again, crawl that, and Google will better understand what the image is about. And as the reader, as the site visitor, they'll actually be greeted with something other than, a lot of times when people don't do this, it just, has a bunch of gibberish and says .jpeg or something like that, right? So what this does is this actually helps Google understand the pictures, and it helps the end user just see that there's something that's supposed to be there while the page is loading. Again, they might be like in a shaky service area, and it just kind of ensures that, hey, there is something that's supposed to be there. But then it also serves the purpose of Google being able to understand what this image is communicating. And again, when we kind of go back to image size, this is one of those things that, looking at this, how would I know that, just by blindly looking at my website, how would I know that this image or any of these images were greater than 250 kilobytes? You wouldn't know that just looking at your page. So this is running that internal behind the scenes crawl to show you what to work on. So now I can hope to improve this score, get it to 100%. And that's really our goal. We're wanting to go 100% on all of our pages. So that is why I love using SEO crawlers. SEOSpace is pretty freaking awesome. And this is an advertisement for SEOSpace, but it really helps me work on my site, because when I first launched my site on December 15th, my score was somewhere in the 40s, and I'm someone who's worked on websites for a long time, right? So before I got SEOSpace, I was just kind of blindly making things on my website, but then didn't have a plan to improve them until SEOSpace looked at the behind the scenes of my web pages and told me what I needed to work on. So that way I'm saving time and I'm focusing on things that matter. So again, Also, let's talk about, this is a paid subscription, but I only pay about like $200 a year, and I think it's a very worthwhile investment, because again, it's just saving you so much time by telling you what it is you need to work on. So that's it. That is my first rundown just on using a page scan like SEOSpace. And again, there's others depending on your website platform. And in a future installment, I'm going to be making a video on the site auditing tool for SEOSpace, and that's actually going to kind of better describe the quality of my content. It'll give me ideas to create better content. It'll show me like a little bit more in-depth things for me to work on and fix. And it also shows you keyword ideas, blog topic ideas, and you can plug in competitor websites and see what they're ranking for, which is all just awesome information to have. But anyways, that's it for now. And I'm looking forward to making the next one of these. And hopefully you took some valuable information out of this. So that's it. Have a good one. See you guys.